Hey folks, Zach Osterman, Mike Niziolek, Bloomington Herald Times. Indianapolis Star, Indiana 74, Wisconsin 70. Hoosiers break a 4-game losing streak. Weird night. It's fair to say Indiana broke out to a 15-point lead early. Wisconsin kind of had their way coming back. There was a pause because of a fire alarm, and then Indiana closed the game out really strong. Wisconsin didn't score in the last 2 minutes and 6 seconds, missed its last 6 shots. I think it's fair to say, through obviously some of the weirdness of an unplanned pause, a pretty cathartic evening, first and foremost, for Indiana.
Well, yeah, and the fans made it loud down the stretch, made things difficult on Wisconsin.
Mike Woodson made a point of basically thanking everyone, because a lot of people did come back.
Yeah. I mean, a lot did, and it was a short time, so it was very strange. They were sent to the exit because of an errant fire alarm, and then brought back, and made it a hard environment to play in. Despite that. And they needed it because this team struggled to close out games. And it looked like they were going to struggle here, but then kind of flipped the switch. Mike Woodson talked to a three-pointer Mackenzie Mbako made. Malik Renew made a key basket before fouling out. So it was kind of a team effort here to get this win after losing 4 straight.
I'm not completely sure where Wisconsin's – the box score has Wisconsin taking 69 shots and Indiana only 47. That seemed a little odd to me, but I think in the aggregate, Indiana was pretty good defensively. Max Klesman hit a couple threes, but they never really let him get going the way they did, obviously, in Madison. I thought they adjusted to Chucky Hepburn. He had, I think, 10 points in the second half, but they really quieted him down the stretch. They out-rebounded Wisconsin, and Kel'el Ware, just really both ends of the floor in almost any facet. 27 points and just 12 field goal attempts. He made all 4 free throws in his only 3-point attempt, 11 rebounds, 5 blocks. He essentially controlled this game at both ends of the floor. He was a huge part of the reason Indiana built that lead in the first half. And while Wisconsin kept him a little bit quieter, I think he only had 7 points of his 27 in the second half. His presence, his activity, and his defensive sort of strength still really helped Indiana kind of push back when they needed to in the second.
Well, I think Mike Woodson alluded to it, that they just went away from it a little bit. Because in the start of the half, Malik Renew had the ball a lot and scored most of his points kind of at that starting stretch. So Kel'el Ware kind of took a back seat there. He probably said we should have probably gone to it more just on the way he was playing. This will be the tape that he would probably want scouts to view in terms of showing him. He showed his range. Like you said, he hit a 3-pointer shot, a couple of long shots. Took guys off the ball, and then was really played as well as he has all season off the pick and roll.
Yeah, and I thought just in general, pick and roll offense was kind of Wisconsin's undoing tonight. Trey Galloway had 12 assists, which is tied for the most by a guard under Mike Woodson. Xavier Johnson did it once at Purdue in Woodson's first season. When Indiana kind of forced Wisconsin to sort of spread and figure out whether they wanted to blitz, whether they wanted to drop. I think they dropped a decent amount in ball screen coverage. The point is Wisconsin just couldn't. Even Malik Renew, he had 14 points on 8 shots. He, who does not get involved in the ball screen offense as much, he still got some offense on ball screens and some slips and some rolls and things like that. Wisconsin really just could not kind of solve how to get Indiana either out of that or what to do with Indiana when Indiana went into that. And, again, I think it's reflected, 12 assists for Trey Galloway. All 6 of his points, I think, or maybe 4 of the 6 came on those floaters that he gets. Renew had 14. Ware had 27. Wisconsin actually outscored Indiana in points in the paint, which surprises me a little bit. But it's fair to say that in terms of the way Indiana used its bigs, Wisconsin never figured it out.
Well, yeah, we should mention Xavier Johnson came back tonight after missing 6 games with the elbow injury. Didn't seem as rusty as he did coming off the ankle injury, I thought. Hit a 3 in the first half. Not huge presence in terms of scoring, but
5 turnovers.
But he had 5 turnovers, but he made a difference at times in terms of, Mike Woodson talked about speeding them up, just giving them, he has to be defended off the ball. And Gabe Cub says, teams are playing off Gabe Cubs quite a bit. And they can't really do that with Xavier Johnson. And so I thought he made a difference. Mike Woodson said he goes to bed at night thinking about what this team could have been. With Johnson, I'm not sure. That might be a little extreme, but I do think he makes a difference for this team in terms of helping that guard rotation be a little more imposing, not having to lean so much on Gabe Cubs, the true freshman.
Yeah, I thought it gave Indiana just a little bit more bench. And, they get 11 points off their bench tonight, so it's not some sort of revelatory performance. But Indiana, you didn't have these stretches where it felt like Indiana was going to its bench and just trying to squeeze blood out of a stone in terms of
opens up
energy
things
or
a little more for the
activity or
starters on the
anything
floor,
like that.
I think, is the key too. And so, you have to be more worried about him.
And Woodson said, he talked about the turnovers. He said it felt like maybe Johnson was forcing things a little bit. He was trying a little too hard to make things happen. He was eager to be back on the floor. But ultimately, I think it's a good night for Indiana. They obviously haven't had a ton of those in the last few weeks. And, this is a win over a likely NCAA tournament team. If you're Indiana, I think you're allowed to just feel good about this, try to build on it.
One win?
That is as of right now. Anyway, I think Wisconsin was 21, 22. I think Ohio State may still stand as a quad 1.
Yeah.
So I think they've got 2 quad 1 wins and 4 quad 2 wins, if memory serves. And if you're Indiana, we've talked about this for a while. It's almost become more academic in a way because of how much it feels like the season's kind of gotten away from them. But there is an extent to which it's still just about, hey, can you stack good days? Can you just have a good day today and a good day tomorrow and just kind of keep constantly moving upward and then just sort of figure out where you are in a week, in 2 weeks, going into the Big Ten tournament, etc. Indiana's allowed to. Wisconsin has not been playing well, to be fair, but Indiana's shouldn't have to apologize for that. They should feel good about it.
Well, Indiana hasn't been playing.
No,
they've lost 4 in a row as well. So, they'll take it. A little more at the three-point line. Free throws a little wobbly still, but I just thought they just played through adversity like they hadn't done in months.
Yeah,
really. Honestly, I can't think of the last time they played. Maybe Iowa.
They were down 18 at Ohio State.
Was that before Iowa?
No, it was after Iowa.
Okay.
It was weeks, not months.
Feels like months.
It was this same month.
Was it? Is it March? Isn't it March yet? No.
It was the exact same month that we're in.
It's been a while since.
It's been 3 weeks. It's been literally 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
So there you go. If you're Indiana, now you try to do it more than once every 3 weeks.
All right, in this building.
Iowa.
January 30th.
Yeah.
So
that's still more weeks than
months ago.
That was month ago.
Months ago.
Hoosiers are, what are they?
Oh, now you want help with something?
Oh, what?
You can't even pull it up.
What is your problem?
I don't even know if the video's
Indiana's 15-13, 7-10. They're at Maryland on Sunday afternoon. Between now and then, for the Herald Times, Mike Niziolek, Indianapolis Star. I'm Zach Osterman. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon.